Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at the daily chart first here. Just a reminder that until we really break below 69K, the scenarios on the daily chart will not change. Well, even then, they might not really change. Probabilities will shift rather, okay? Probabilities would shift in that case. And for those who want a little bit more detail, check out my latest video on the MCO Global channel. I covered the Bitcoin daily chart extensively. In this video here, I just want to give you everybody just a brief overview of the context. We don't want to talk about all the implications of all the wave counts into too much detail. That's available on the MCO Global channel. Otherwise, it would be too repetitive here. What I just wanted to say again is at the moment, the potential for another high is still on the table into the direction of 130K. There is still room in our support region all the way down to 69K. Yep, it would be a deep wave 4, absolutely, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, still valid that this is a wave 4, okay? And even that 69K level, and I have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, it's not an invalidation point. Sometimes people think those are invalidation points. No, they're not. The 69K level is, it's an important one. 61.8 retracement. It is normally the level where we say if the price goes below that, it would be too deep for a fourth wave, even in a so-called diagonal structure. But it would not invalidate this structure. Okay, that's very, very important. The invalidation point is actually down here around 52K. That's far away, but that, that's been communicated since end of last year when I highlighted for the first time that a bull market top might be in. But that would require further evidence, of course. So my communication was always that I will not confirm a top until we really break support levels. And in the current situation, support is at 69K, and it's far away from where we were up here, which means risk was very high up there. So I always encourage people to think about the charts in terms of risk and reward, right? I mean, if you're up here at around 110K and there's a scenario for another rally to 130K, that's simply 20K versus a risk of like 40K. So that gives you a miserable reward to risk ratio. That typically indicates profit taking makes sense for those who traded this larger move. But again, that depends on personal risk tolerance as well. It just reflects that it doesn't always make sense to wait for that one more push higher necessarily if the reward to risk ratio is not good, right? Down here, it's of course better. Down here, if you set the stop below 69K, if you do it, I'm not saying that is the wisest decision to put a stop below 69K, right? Because it's not an invalidation point. But if you did, then, I mean, now the reward to risk ratio looks much more favorable, okay? That being said, there is no reliable bottoming confirmation yet that we actually have formed a low in this correction and that we're on our way already to 130K. I wanted to see 5 waves up first to be able to confirm that. And so far, the rally is only in 3 waves, which means we might not have bottomed yet. The market might go for another low. And then the problem will, of course, be, look, this move up from the low that happened here on the 10th of March, 11th of March, that was like a 16% move up. The price reached the 38.2 retracement level of our resistance area. That is not normally really strong enough for a B wave as per the red scenario, which is part of the bearish case, but it is still valid. So it puts us into this situation where it's a little bit unclear, a bit ambiguous, not so clear whether we've already topped in the red B wave even, because this is clearly only a 3-wave move up, right? Now, I would prefer even in the red B wave a larger bounce, but only the market will tell us if it gives us that larger B wave bounce, yeah. So what I have done, however, on the smaller time frame, I've added a support area that we can watch from where we could get a wider B wave bounce or even a continuation higher in the white scenario. But I think what we have already, there are things we don't know, but there are also things we know. And the things we know are very important. For example, the rally from that 10th or 11th of March low It's not a 5-wave move, okay? And sometimes people tell me that in the current market conditions, analysis isn't so helpful because Trump is leading the market or whatever, you know. Well, he's still just steering market sentiment, you know. If there's something he's doing, he's just steering market sentiment in similar ways like Elon Musk did it, you know, many months or years ago, even with Dogecoin. So he understood quite well how he could shape market sentiment. So it's still market sentiment that will lead to buy and sell decisions, not the tweet itself. But, you know, of course, analysis is helpful because, as I explained to you over the last few days, only with the first 5-wave move up, we have confirmation that a substantial low has been established. Until we get that, we have to be careful. And the structure is extremely fragile. And I believe that has helped a lot of people to be on their toes, to be careful, not to be, let's say, too bullish, okay? Because the structure is fragile as long as we are dealing with only 3-wave movements. And what we also know is that if we have bottomed and it's only a 3-wave move up, it will be the start of a combination of ABC structures to the upside. And that will be a bumpy ride. Okay, so it is not suitable for trading for everybody because the movements like these require different skills, right? It's you have to be on your toes all the time. It can be stressful and so on. So yeah, it's not a great environment to be trading, I believe, and it just means that you have to be on the watch all the time, right? There are time frames where it's a bit clearer, you know, but daily chart still holding support. The bounce was not very, let's say, satisfying. And today the market is bleeding again. So no strength in that market at the moment. And let's take a look at the shorter time frame here. Today, oops, 1 second. So what I said before is that I will probably remove the scenario for one more high from the chart if we get a break below that red line. Well, that's happening as we speak. It's not a sustained break, so, but later today I will probably remove it from the chart. So just that you've heard it here in the video. I've already sketched yesterday, for those of you who know or who watched the last video, I've already sketched yesterday the orange pathway, which is the direct route into the lower support region. And again, so far, there is not even any confirmation that we have a local low in place. So for a local low to be in place, I would need to see a break above resistance. That's been communicated at 85,640. So against that level, the focus is still on lower prices. And the orange count shows us there should be at least another 4-5 pattern. I was watching already for the start maybe of the 4th wave bounce in orange, but market is bleeding more directly. So I'm tracking this potentially as B-wave pullback. I mean, we can make the change live in the video because I don't believe that this is any... It could still be a 4th wave. It could be. So let's maybe leave it on the chart for now. What you can clearly see is the move up is clearly only a 3-wave move up. We don't have 5 waves, even with one more high. That is just an extended A wave. A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's only so A, B, and then 5 waves in C, right? So either way, we're dealing with 3-wave choppy structures. So what I am tracking is next, can we find support in here? 79,120 to 82,513. That will be the last possibility for the bulls to find support before we break down to 75k or so. Yeah. What I will remove though is now this upper support. We don't need that anymore. It's broken, and I will adjust resistance accordingly. And it's now been reduced down to 85,400. And yeah, as you can see, another 4-5 pattern is likely. And it seems like we're in some kind of a B-wave pullback or something more bearish, but we'll need to see now if the market can find support here. All this is, these are just pivots. Pivots that the price can use to find support. 3 Fibonacci levels to watch, but at the moment without clear signal that a low is in. And we can also watch this resistance area and structural support here around 83,190, but I don't expect a bullish comeback on the weekend. So it might be bleeding or go sideways for a bit. So I keep you updated about that, but these are all the levels also to watch for next week. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, tomorrow, don't forget, at 5 p.m. UTC, we've got our large member live stream We'll take requests. I think last week I counted them. We covered 49 cryptocurrency charts in the live stream. So if you have requests, I see a lot of you in the comments. I can't deal with requests in the comments, unfortunately. But feel free to join our membership. You can put your requests in. They're normally 1.5 hours long. I can't deal with them all, but 49 is a lot. I don't think you'll get that anywhere else. We'll do these every week. So yeah, also in our membership, there are other ways to get a request answered, for example, through our poll system. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. I wish you a great weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.